Going on, people? Um, this is your boy Russell Don here. This is another one of my attempts at making a video here on YouTube. My internet connection is sappy. Uh, anyways, I've been wanting to make a video in regards to the whole Mac versus PC debate, and just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. Mm. Basically, you're going to hear a lot of stories and a lot of different opinions on the subject, but there is something you have to understand. Fanboys don't always argue with logic. They argue based on emotion. It's like arguing about religion. There's no verifiable data that you can use to actually measure each opinion and point and compare. There's no benchmarks. So avoid getting into flame wars and foolish debates because it won't get you anywhere. Anyway, that being said, you know, I have a lot of friends who have Macs. I've actually had the chance to mess around with different MacBook Pros and the iMac and the Mac Pro because, at school they have them in the art department and whatnot. And they're really nice machines. I mean, the the quality is there, but I don't feel that you get the best price to performance in a Mac. You know, I mean, for instance, if I were to look for a laptop right now, I'd need something like the MacBook Pro at 17 inches because I've got big hands and I like a powerful laptop that I can use almost as a desktop replacement, but not quite. And the MacBook Pro comes with a lot of nice features. It has the 320 gigs of hard drive space, 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM, 2.6 gigahertz processor, and a very nice looking design. So, I mean, you do get a lot. But it's easy to forget that at the price range of a Mac, which is over $2,000, you can get much superior machines as far as performance goes. I mean, if I go to like SagerNotebook.com, or even Alienware, which is another overpriced brand, I can put together a laptop that will give me better performance than an Apple MacBook Pro. I'd have more hard drive space, same or more amount of RAM, similar processor power, and the graphics cards will be much, much better. I mean, the MacBook Pro comes with a very weak choice of a graphics card for a high-end system. I don't think a laptop that costs over $2,000 should come with a 9600 MGT. It's a cheap graphics solution compared to what you could get at that price range. It should have at least the 9800M or things like that. So I'm not too impressed with that. You don't get HDMI outlets, no FireWire. They just started offering it now, again, after the last WWDC. And I mean, there's a few things you don't get. And then there's OS X, which it's a really nice operating system, but doesn't work for me because I like to have options when I have an operating system. The OS X looks nice, but there's really nothing on the OS X that I cannot do on Windows. The only thing is that the OS X is different. But for instance, if I were to want to play a game, one of the new games that just came out, I wouldn't be able to do it on the Mac unless I put Windows on it, which kind of defeats the entire purpose of buying the Mac in the first place. I could get a cheaper machine with better specs and have an operating system that would allow me to do whatever I want to do. And I know a lot of people are going to come in with the whole virus debate thing, but look, if Windows was half as bad as the way Mac fans portray it to be, everyone would have already moved to OS X. Yeah, there are viruses on Windows because it's the operating system that has the most market share. That's what the hackers are going to attack. But there are solutions. Most laptops, first of all, most internet service providers give you some form of protection. And even then, you can get free protection online. AVG, Avira, Avast, Komodo. There's a lot of choices out there for you. You're not limited to just, whatever comes with Windows. And you don't have to pay money for it. And Windows doesn't even crash as much as people try to make it look. I mean, I've had Windows for years, and I've crashed once when I was trying to overclock, which is normal because that's how you know that you have to reduce the power or increase the power. But normally, for normal usage, I've never actually crashed Windows. I haven't had viruses in years, and many people can say the same thing. Granted, there are a few things that are definitely better in OS X, but Windows is a much more versatile OS. Plus, OS X locks you as far as hardware. You're locked into the company. You have to buy stuff made specifically for the company, and you have to pay a premium for that. So you have limited upgrade options compared to every other PC, and you have to pay more. And the parts in a PC in the same price range of a Mac are better, so you can't say that the Mac comes with better parts, because that's a logical fallacy. When you open them up, you see the difference. The most powerful laptops around right now are from like Alienware and Sager, the new 17-inch ones. They cost about $1,700 starting. And even at that starting configuration, they still come with better specs than the MacBook Pro that costs over $2,000. And Windows lets you do more. It has its flaws, but it's not half as bad as people make it out to be, because everyone uses it. With Windows, I can't survive fine on Windows without needing to put any other operating system. I, for instance, use Linux, but I wouldn't recommend Linux to a newcomer. Why? It's stable, yes, it's secure, but you have very limited options. And to do the things that you could do on Windows for free easily, you have to cut corners on Linux. OS X looks good, sexy, it's light, it's safe. But to do some things, you end up having to use Windows in Boot Camp anyway, which kind of defeats the entire purpose of OS X. If OS X is better than Windows, then you shouldn't need Windows on your machine for anything. Does that mean that PCs are better than Macs? No, because Macs are PCs. They just use the different strategy, a marketing strategy to sell you their software and hardware and make you think that their product is different, but it's really not. It's a boutique company, that's all they do. So you shouldn't really be debating on whether Macs are better than PCs, because if you get into that, to be really honest, they're not. They have their strengths, but they're not better than PCs. They're just cooler than PCs. They're the thing to have right now. In a few years from now, it will be something else. It's always like that. But I'm going to make more videos on the subject. And, check out my channel. I'm going to be talking about different things. But that's my opinion on the subject. If you have any comments, as long as they're clean and not insulting, feel free to comment on the video. And send any questions as well as far as hardware and software goes. Later, people.